Hi, first graders. It is time to look at your PAWS sort for the week again. This week you are doing sort number 22. And so let's kind of look through it and see what we notice. So this week you are thinking about I. So the short I sound, I, and the long I sound, I. And so you have 4 different headings that you're going to be thinking about. Like usual, you'll have some words in your sort that are the short I sound, and they usually are the only vowel in the word. Now, there is a group this week that is the exception. So then you'll also have your long I group with the silent E, so that's this heading. Here is the one that is a little bit tricky. We have IGH this week. The GH, when it's with the I, is silent, but it's a signal to your brain, if you see the GH after the I, that the I is going to say I instead of I. So the way it's labeled is actually, the label doesn't actually look right to me, so you will want to fix that. For the label, it shouldn't say vowel, vowel. It should say consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant. So when you have that GH, that is two consonants. So the C and the C, and the G and the H. So when you get it isn't correct on your sort. So I would go ahead and take your pencil and fix the heading to be a consonant, then a vowel, the I, and then 2 consonants. And then our last group is one of those examples of an open syllable. So it is when your word ends with a vowel sound. So in this example, you're going to have that tricky Y who usually says yeah and is a consonant, but sometimes it sneaks in and steals the vowel sound from E and from I. So this week it's going to be saying I. Okay, so it's a lot of information. Let's look at some of our words. The first example is one that is that open syllable where we're ending with a vowel sound. So shy, but we're going to remember that Y instead of an I. Then we have an example of that IGH. So when you have that GH, it's silent and the I is going to say I. So bright is going to go with IGH. Then we have white. So that is, we have our silent E. So I'm going to put that here with silent E, kind of what we're used to doing. Fight. So again, I see that IGHT. So IGH, that GH is going to be our signal that it's an I sound. So that's going to go with our CVCC or IGH. Here we have quit. So quit, I hear I. I see the U with the Q. Often those are best buddies, and QU are going to be together. So qua and then it. So that's going to be short I. Sky, Y. Twice, E, silent E. Then we have live, live. So the spelling is the same no matter which one you're putting it with. I'm going to go ahead and move that to an oddball section just so that I don't forget that it's a little bit different. So I'm going to put that kind of off to the side to remember that I need to remember that E no matter what, if it's live or live. Then we have write, like I'm going to write you a letter, and that's a silent E. Quick, I see that QU again and the I sound. So I'm going to put that with the short I. Might, I see that GH. So IGH. So I might. Night, IGH. Try, Y. Flight, IGH. Cry, Y. Sigh, IGH. Sight, IGH. Quite a few in that sort this week. High, IGH. Fine, silent E. Quite, we have that QU again, but this time it has that silent E at the end. So I with the silent E. Fly, so we have the Y at the end. Right, IGH. And then Y. I see the Y with saying I. So after we get everything sorted into their groups, then we want to always make sure that we have them sounding the same in that group or that they have that same pattern when you look at them. And then we also want to make sure if we have any homophones. So remember, those are the words that sound exactly the same, but they're spelled different and they mean something different. So we want to make sure we're paying attention to which one we need to use when we're reading or when we're writing a sentence. So our short I group, we have quit and quick. In both of those, I hear I saying I. In this next group, I see that they all have the E, so that looks good. And then white, twice, right, fine, and quite are all saying I in that middle vowel. These all should have IGH when I look at them, and then they should be saying I. Bright, fight, might, night, flight, right, and then I had to stack, sigh, sight, and high. That sounds good and looks good. And then our Y at the end, they all have it. They're open syllable because they end with a vowel sound, and they're all having that sneaky Y. Shy, sky, try, cry, and fly. And those also sound good. Live, live. It's that one that no matter which way you're using it, you need to remember to spell it L-I-V-E. So I have that sorted to the side as an oddball. And then as I was going through it, I did notice one homophone right here, right, R-I-G-H-T, versus right, W-R-I-T-E. So the W-R-I-T-E pattern is I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to write you a letter. So writing with a pencil or a pen or a marker. And then the I-G-H pattern is when you're doing something correct or you're going to get all your answers right. That is the I-G-H pattern. So, first graders, you have a lot to think about this week. Don't forget to change your heading at the top. It should be consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, because your signal is that GH after the I. And then make sure you notice your oddballs, and you have one oddball this week, and then notice your homophones. All right, first grade, good luck on your sort this week.